What's going on, YouTube? This is Wi-Fi Memory here today. I am bringing you guys some more Pokemon BDSP action. Our first battle today is going up against Jesse. Jesse's rocking out with Lucario, Umbreon, Garchomp, Tentacruel, Alakazam, and Azelf of his own. I want to feature our Alakazam. I've changed up the moveset just a little bit. It's a little bit of surprise, but let's just say this Alakazam could be considered a mixed Alakazam. I mean, it can literally just be considered that and not even have a single physical attack in its arsenal. Not even have to have a good physical attack to do so. Anyway, you guys probably know where I'm going with this. I do want to direct your attention to the question of the day, and that is that I'm planning to do more of discussion theme videos onto this channel. Meaning, I want some topics from you guys. Obviously, keeping Pokemon related. But I would really like to see what we can kind of get into. What can we talk about? What can we learn from each other? Discussional. It's probably the idea is to have one discussion video a week. Basically, I just want to see what we could do. You know, like obviously other YouTubers, bigger names, dabble into this all the time, and I want to try and match their level, I guess, is the best way I can put it into words. So, discussional videos, I do have one planned. I don't know if it's going to be coming out this week just because of how the crazy work week has been, but I am planning on getting them out as soon as, at least start expecting them by next week. But let's get into this battle. Why did I go ahead and go for Swords Dance? Well, because I had a feeling we were going to be scaring out his Azelf. He goes into Tentacruel. Him knocking me off is not the worst case scenario. We're going to U-turn out. That's fine. We bring out Alakazam, actually, which is nice to say. And, you know, you're thinking, Alakazam's mostly a special attacker. What's going on here? I have Psyshock on this sweeping Alakazam. We have Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, and Psyshock. Dazzling Gleam is basically there for those dark types. We can't hit them with our current moveset, so you know what? The best thing to do is just go ahead and invest the Dazzling Gleam. To me, I think Dazzling Gleam is it's more consistent than having Focus Blast, which was what we were running before. He goes up to Umbreon on the Psyshock, which was a good play. I could have predicted, but I didn't. We're going to go on to Scizor. Scizor don't care to be taunted. All we're wanting to do is practically, he has to switch his Umbreon out. We're just going to play off the pivot that he's going to be switching, because if he don't switch, he's going to take a lot of damage. And we can actually just see who he brings in, and we're just keeping pressure on our opponent this way. Keeping the pressure on our opponent. Always make sure you have the upper hand, especially when you're playing more of a hyper-aggressive team. This team is definitely in that category. This team does have... it does have two walls, I will say that. Our opponent stays in. Very, very interesting, as they take a lot of damage. And the thing is, you took that much damage, you're in range. I'm just saying, of a Dazzling Gleam from this Alakazam. You're in range. You want to take it? I mean, you're either A, going to have to switch out, which, you know, really and truthfully, I mean, you have to expect Life Orb on Alakazam, but how I just played it may have revealed something totally different. Obviously, we are Life Orb, but he seemed to switch after we couldn't hit the Umbreon. Hey, at least we got rid of a huge threat, that being the Umbreon. Azelf comes out. Azelf can be both physical and special. But this Blissey, I know this Blissey can handle it. This is actually a kind of an odd Blissey set too, so or an odd Blissey spread. For the ones that don't know, this is max HP, max defense. And then this thing just tanks all the hits with a very offensive move set, right? I told you max HP. Actually, it's not. It is max special attack with max defense. So, my bad. You just don't gain too much value just having that much investing more HP, because you're at 331 HP right now, and that is really just really amazing. Alright, we don't know what the kind of Lucario this is either. Is it mixed, special? I mean, hopefully we can get the para. It's 60% chance to paralyze. That would just be huge. It don't look like we got it. Does not look like we got it. I'm gonna go ahead and pop off this Flamethrower, though. I have no problem popping off a Flamethrower on a Swords Dance on a Lucario. Yo, what if I burned you right here? What if I burn you? Or even better, what if this KOs? Yo, look at that. Blissey staying in. I wasn't even threatened by the Lucario, because I just feel like my Blissey can take these hits. Yes, Blissey has a terrible base defense, but if you actually invest into it, you know, max it out, it makes Blissey, with just that high HP, super valuable, super crazy. I mean, this Blissey can live hits, like some really crazy hits that you wouldn't expect, and battles cancel just because of that. Yo, that's fun. Alright, Jesse. Good game nonetheless. I'll catch you guys for game number 2. Jesse don't want a rematch. Alrighty, for game number 2, we are going up against Liam. Liam is rocking out with a Rotom Wash, Scizor, Heatran, Rhyperior, Alakazam, and Salamence. Man, this must be the Alakazam league or something. Am I right? I mean, come on. But our Alakazam is definitely superior, right? Probably not. But looking at our opponent's team, that Rhyperior really stands out to me, actually. Interesting to see, like, back in the day, I would imagine that being a Golem in that slot instead of a Rhyperior. But really and truthfully, Golem has kind of fallen off. When Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum first came out, Golem, well, however you say it, right? Geodude's final form was like really good. Some people would lead it as a suicide, but you gotta keep in mind there was no team preview, so now people are running the luxury of saying, hey, instead of having the Golem and stuff, I want more power because people know what I have. You know, there's no surprise anymore. So I think people have went to the Rhyperior. I have seen a few Rhyperiors in singles. Mostly I see Rhyperiors in when I play doubles. It's definitely a great Trick Room Pokemon in VGC. We'll find out how good it is today in singles, for sure. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set up some Stealth Rocks. As they go for the Avalanche. Ouch. That I forget, Rhyperior actually has some crazy coverage, and Avalanche being one of them. I'm okay sacking Gliscor off here, right? Because I don't necessarily think we have the greatest switch. We could go with Scizor. It's not that great, though. I think right now is the best thing to do is go for the knockoff, just to guarantee that we don't have to deal with leftovers or anything. Citrus Berry, hey, as soon as we get them lower down, that's fantastic. One thing I do like to see is no weakness policy on the Rhyperior, which, man, that still gives me nightmares. But, because, I mean, in Sword and Shield, they Dynamax it, they have that weakness policy Rhyperior. That thing was tough to beat. Thankfully, weakness policy isn't in BDSP, so that's awesome. Halves the damage from any of our attacks, too, that are super effective. That's just his ability. So, there's hardly any super effective attack. There is a trick, though. If you hit him on the special side, he tends to be a lot weaker. We do have Ice Beam on the Blissey, but that's kind of risky. Really and truthfully, after Intimidate, I'm not... Should I be worried of a Rock Wrecker possibility? Maybe, because even after Intimidate, that's going to be doing a lot of damage. And this is where Glitch, if I had that Surf Gyarados that we were talking about the other day, this would have been fantastic in this situation. But unfortunately, this is your standard Gyarados that probably fails to pick up this KO. Hey, don't be sleeping on my boy Gyarados. Don't be sleeping on my boy Gyarados. Gyarados came to play. He says, hey, I got the 4-time super effective water move against this guy. So yes, sure, his Solid Rock will enable one of those super effectives, but I got another one. So I'm still hitting them super effective, and fantastic to see that KO right there. Alright, there's Rotom. And this is another weird matchup, right? Sword and Shield, Rotom wouldn't be that big of a threat to a Gyarados, but in BDSP it is. Reason being, Gyarados would have had the Power Whip. It's just, you know, during games and some moves come across, you know, and so yeah, that's fine though. We go into Blissey here every time. And Vote Switch, okay, that's fine. Because, really and truthfully, whatever you bring in, our Blissey can probably take it. Our Blissey can probably handle it. And we can get some, hopefully, some hacks favors on our side. This is the hacks queen. Whenever I run this Blissey, I expect a lot of hacks for my side, just because of the ability that on Blissey, hey, this Scizor's coming in here expecting to set up a Swords Dance. You know, most Blisseys, especially after seeing that how much little chip of damage that Vote Switch did, which really and truthfully had nothing to do with how I EV trained the Blissey, but in their mind it means everything. That they probably think I'm a bulky Blissey, not an offensive one. They feel like they can probably set up Swords Dance because it's free. Little do they know, I have Flamethrower, and I'm going to click it. If you do decide to switch, there's a chance I can burn something. So there's high chances for me everywhere. U-turn? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Ooh, okay. That's where that defense, you know, even though it's a terrible base defense, but you EV train into, ooh, we get to see if it's Flash Fire or Flame Body right here. It is Flash Fire. Okay. And the matchup between Blissey and Heatran, it's neutral. Neither one really threatens the other one, unless this is a physical Heatran. Is it though? I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but we'll go ahead soft boil. I do want to try and get a Thunder off to see if we can paralyze this thing, as we are going to be trapped with the Magnus Storm. How unfortunate is that? I was actually planning on switching too after I got the paralyzation, but you know what? Being trapped in Magnus Storm is probably not the worst case scenario. Alright, so yeah, we'll have to just throw one of those good old... How much are we doing? Okay, that's still not that bad. Yeah, we'll just have to throw one of those good old Thunders, hoping that we get the 60% chance of paralyzation. Because right now we're kind of trapped into this Heatran's trap, and unfortunately we miss. We've unfortunately missed. I have not been the biggest fan of Magnus Storm Heatran. Personally, I have not actually used it yet, but I haven't found a reason to, really. Heatran trapping Pokemon with a very shaky accuracy move, I'm not the biggest fan of that idea. Because to me, I don't feel like Heatran's the best Pokemon to be trapping Pokemon in. I feel like Heatran's one of those Pokemon you switch in, let them threaten a KO or something, and then they switch out, and there's the paralyzation. I'd much rather run a bulky. I have ran an offensive Heatran, but I do prefer the bulky Heatran. Just Flamethrower and Flash Cannon as our main attacks. I prefer that. I don't necessarily know if Lava Plume is necessary either. Like, I don't know 100%. It probably is a nice attack. And ooh, going to the Scizor. Okay, fantastic there. Hey, what if I went for Flamethrower? I mean, obviously, there's no way I was predicting you to switch. I know you want to finish out that Blissey. That unnecessary damage and that unnecessary paralyzation right there. Dude, you just threw that. You threw that one. Like, I understand you probably want to save some HP on your Heatran. But man, you threw. Do we save Blissey? Is it even a reason to? Not really. Not as low of HP as it is. Maybe we can catch it? No, okay. He goes for Bullet Punch. And Blissey goes down, that's fine. This gives me a free switch. And I was banking on him wanting to go for a U-turn. Like, he would have gave me a nice free switch initiative on whatever he brought in. He keeps Scizor in though, that's fine. We can go into Haunter, can't we? I'm trying to think of the best case scenarios. Gyarados probably is our best case, just because we resist and we're about to Intimidate. So he'll be at -1. Granted, we took some Stealth Rock damage. This is probably a best opportunity to set up a Dragon Dance. Go ahead, get a boost for our attack, for our speed. And then from there, we should be able to KO this. Anything you bring in, really. I mean, because, now Gyarados is super powerful, super strong. And we should be able to pick off anything that you want to bring in. Rotom. Okay. Like I said, this is one of the few Pokemon that actually checked the Gyarados. But we lost our Blissey, obviously, and what's stopping them from wanting just to go for Vote Switch to keep getting the Switch initiative? Nothing. We don't have nothing. We ain't stopping them. So might as well go for the Waterfall here. Try and flinch him. We know this is going to be... That was decent damage, right? Discharge, so he actually wants to stay in. And this is where if we had the Power Whip, we would defriend the Rotom. But unfortunately, that's not in BDSP. But we got the Rotom low enough now for our Alakazam, hopefully to finish the game. Set up a nasty plot. Rotom shouldn't have enough power, especially I believe if it's Discharge. It I believe means being more bulky, where Thunderbolt's definitely more offensive. Heatran definitely coming in to check us. We don't even know if this is a special or defensive, specially defensive or defensive Heatran. I guess we'll find out, because we're gonna have to go for Psychic. Hopefully he gets fully paralyzed. That's the play. +2 Life Orb, Snap, Psychic. This is as powerful of a move that Alakazam can do. I know it's resisted and it does a lot of damage. Magnet Storm, and it missed. That's what I'm saying, yo. That is what I'm saying. Right there. And now he's going to be like, well, I didn't hit my Magnet Storm, so that's how I lost. No, you lost because you're running a very inaccurate move. Sure, I was running Thunder. I admit, and I do miss Thunder quite a bit. But I don't blame my loss to missing Thunder, you know? So, he lost the Heatran. 2 of resisted attack. We were able to set up Alakazam. Alakazam should be able to carry us from here. Like, this Alakazam's scary. Like, that's a half HP Scizor. The only way you outspeed is Bullet Punch. Bullet Punch should not KO me. We'll go Psychic again. Fully paralyzed. He was trying to go for it. But like I said, it shouldn't have KO'd. He did that to his own Scizor though. switching that in on the Blissey to get fully paralyzed in that situation. That definitely bit him in the butt right there. Biggest advice I can give to everyone: if you're playing Pokemon, you know, always keep a cool head. Even if things aren't going your way, keep the cool head. The right move right here actually is Psychic. D-Gleam is only there on an Alakazam to hit the dark types. The right attack always will be Psychic. Even, I mean, if it's a 4 times effective D-Gleam, it will be better than going for Psychic, obviously. But yeah, if it's a dark fighting type, go for D-Gleam, please. Urshifu. If it's an Urshifu, dark fighting type that you won't see in BDSP, in this situation, what's the right move to go for? It still might be Psychic, because Alakazam is very, very frail. He may have Shadow Ball. Is it a Fro? I don't think it is. We'll go for Psychic, just so I can show you guys. Battle was canceled anyway. Hey, the Alakazam show today, guys. That was actually a very, very fun game, Liam. Setup is sometimes crucial, though, to win your game, guys. I love this Alakazam set. I'm wanting to do some more testing with it, so the next team I build probably will be featuring this Alakazam, so we can keep playing with it some. But anyway, guys, let me know some of the questions you want to ask, and I will try and make some videos about it, and we can discuss and have a good old time. But anyway, guys, like always, thanks again for watching. This is Wi-Fi Merriman signing out. Peace.